Or this video that to Europe and a numbler. Why do I keep saying numbler? Or this video that hand tube. What? Have you been avoiding vacations because you just don't think you have the money? Or that the only way to vacation is to take on mountains of debt? Because vacations, they're only for rich people. Well, what if I told you your next vacation destination may be right around the corner, and it doesn't have to break the bank? And today, I'm going to share a few tips to help get you there. So stay tuned as we head on out for some super affordable R&R. Hey everyone, this is AJ, your ace in the hole, and welcome to the channel where we simplify personal finance and provide tips for young adults, parents, and anyone else looking for some helpful insight. And sometimes we take a look at some of the little things those travel agents conveniently forget to mention, which just so happens to be the keys to an affordable vacation. And if this sounds interesting, please take a quick second to click the like and subscribe button to keep up with all my other content just like this. If you're early on in your financial journey, raising a young family, or just getting established, vacations can feel impossible. And that's not just in your head. They can be expensive. But the problem isn't that vacations are too expensive, it's that we're always shown the most expensive version. The flights, costly resorts, $400 dinners, and so on. The fact is, that's not the whole truth. The biggest vacation expense isn't the destination, it's the decisions. And becoming aware of just a few things opens a world of opportunity and the realization that a great vacation is much closer than you might think. And in this video, we'll look at some of these and also 2 crazy travel hacks. One that helped me see parts of the world I never dreamed I would see, practically free. And another I stumbled upon that helped me save time and money on a recent trip. Let's start with a top tip that so many overlook, which we'll call the 4-hour tour. Then we'll look at 3 affordable options, all that apply. So a 2025 travel study showed that 57% of travelers were choosing road trips over flying to cut costs. The point is, many have underestimated what's already within driving distance. 4 hours is roughly 250 miles, far below an average tank of gas, and even electric vehicles can get that on a single charge. So instead of wondering if you can afford a vacation, ask yourself, what's within 4 hours? As an example, this map shows 14 top U.S. vacation destinations, surrounded by a 250-mile radius. If you're near Atlanta, Georgia, you're about 2 hours from the Great Smoky Mountains. If you're in New Orleans, Louisiana, you're within 4 hours of some of the best Gulf Coast beaches. And for most in Arizona or southern Utah, you're a stone's throw from the Grand Canyon. The point is, there's something within reach for almost everyone, many even free to visit. Now let's check out those 3 options that are all extremely easy on the pocketbook, all that can also tap into the 4-hour tour concept. Option 1, and probably my favorite, is nature getaways. This might involve national or state parks and either low-cost cabin rentals or even camping. This is truly one of the best value vacations, mainly because the entire experience revolves around you and your time. In most cases, these locations are completely free or incredibly inexpensive. Some hacks in this area are bringing your own food and packing daily lunches. Also, booking cabins midweek versus weekends can save you 20 to 40%, and even more during off-season at 30 to 50%. In fact, there are a couple of great sites for planning national and state park visits, which I'll link below. Option 2, which is very similar to the nature getaway, but that can be even more relaxing, is off-season beach trips. Beach towns are dramatically cheaper outside of the peak months. In fact, I can speak firsthand in that my family normally books a small beach getaway each year. A 4-hour drive, I might add, usually at peak summer. But this year we booked later on, past the peak summer months, and paid almost half for the same lodging experience. And it's not only cheaper, but there are far fewer crowds, making it even more enjoyable. And the milder weather still provides all the sun you can handle. Some hacks for this: ensure your lodging has a kitchen and cook your own meals instead of eating out. And if you're really adventurous, spend an early morning fishing for even fresher options. Another great hack is to buddy up with family or friends and split the already discounted rates. It's pretty amazing how a seemingly unaffordable getaway can turn into one of the most cost-effective and relaxing vacation experiences. Option 3 is another way to create a fun getaway, all while experiencing the added value of personal connection, which are road trips with free stays. Now, I bet you're thinking, what's this all about? By this I mean a road trip that allows you to stay with family or friends, or even house sit near a destination of interest. Now, I know not everyone has this opportunity, but if you do have family or friends that live away, use the 4-hour tour concept and search the area. You might be shocked to learn what sites are very near to the people you know, who would not only be happy to see you, but would also have no issue with you crashing over during your stay, especially if taking care of things while they're out of town. A hack for this: let your out-of-towners know the plan and work on their schedule. You might very well be able to cut lodging costs entirely. Now let's walk through a few money-saving tips that apply to all vacations, even beyond the ones we discussed so far. This is where people either save or waste hundreds. First up is online coupons. There's almost always a deal to help avoid paying full price for activities, especially during the off-seasons. Just a few minutes searching online can provide significant savings. Next, which we touched on briefly, is food, which can easily blow any budget. At a minimum, pick one night and cook in or grill out, or flip the script and only eat out one night. And definitely prepare your own breakfast and coffee. Next is the timing of your stays. If you recall, this applied to the first two options, and I can't help but reiterate, as savings can be significant. And while we dodged it so far, sometimes flights are unavoidable, and timing can also drive substantial savings here as well. There are numerous stats on the topic, but the most important insight is booking air travel during the Goldilocks zone, meaning not too early and not too late. The sweet spot seems to fall within 1 to 3 months of travel. Also, use the flexible travel date feature when pricing flights, and schedule your travel around the most cost-effective dates. This example here would save you over 50% on flight costs. Now let's look at those 2 crazy travel hacks that saved me a considerable amount of money. This first one is controversial, which is using credit card points for travel. Now, quick disclaimer, credit card points can be effective, but only if you're incredibly disciplined. Never spend more than normal chasing points. The secret is to choose a card that earns travel points for categories that already align with your normal spending habits. If you're really disciplined, use the card for regular monthly expenses, such as utilities and groceries. But be sure to pay off your bill in full each month, without exception. If you carry a balance, the math doesn't work. In fact, I have a full video on the horrors of credit cards, which I link below as a little cautionary tale. Now, as for a real example of what this can look like, I personally have been able to fund 2 major vacations, including a trip to Europe and a number of smaller getaways with very little out-of-pocket expense, simply by being extremely disciplined with strategic credit card use and accumulating points. Now granted, for a period, my job entailed extensive travel, requiring all expenses to be placed on a personal business credit card, so points were accumulating on spending that was occurring regardless, meaning I was not spending extra just to earn points. This is so crucial, as many get caught point chasing, overspending the equivalent of just paying for the travel. The strategy works just the same with only personal expenses, but my job definitely sped up point accumulation. In fact, I also link below my video on top company perks that cover many employer benefits such as this that most are not aware. The second crazy travel hack is one I used recently. This may or may not come as a surprise given the timing, but I was able to utilize AI to compile a pretty complex 6-day vacation itinerary. No travel agent needed. I provided the destination along with the ages and interests of the travelers, and as a photographer, I presented very specific photography-related guidelines to consider, including landscapes, wildlife, and key landmarks, along with balancing the best weather in conjunction with low crowds. I also included travel costs, requesting the best months for airfare and lodging, and even food and dining preferences. To my astonishment, not only was I provided with a daily itinerary, including optimal travel dates from best to worst, I was also provided with lodging options and a daily map of sightseeing locations, sequenced optimally for sunrise and sunset lighting conditions for photos. After incorporating a few of the earlier tips, I was able to self-plan an incredible trip at a fraction of the cost, all by using AI. Now, even with all of these great options, let me be clear. If you truly can't afford a trip, don't force it. Of course, we all occasionally need time away to rest and recharge, but you shouldn't spiral into debt to do so. Vacations are supposed to be fun, relaxing, and stress-free, and if you come home to months of credit card payments, then that completely defeats the purpose, leaving you more stressed than before your trip. Which leads me to my tips on saving for vacations in advance, so that you don't have to deal with PVSD or post-vacation stress depression, as I call it. But that's for another video. So after all of this, what do you think? Do you have any go-to travel hacks? Are you a good friend or family member within 4 hours of a popular destination? If so, which one? Also, do you try to save for vacations in advance or just dump them on credit cards and deal with them later? Let me know in the comments, as I'd love to hear how others are handling their travel challenges. And with that, I really hope this video provided some helpful travel tips. As you can see, you don't necessarily need more money, just a better approach. Now, if you would, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with others that might also find it helpful. And don't forget to check out my video on top company perks here, or this video that YouTube selected just for you. And remember, it's not how much you save, it's how early you start. This is AJ, your ace in the hole. See ya.